Hello and welcome back to 7 Days to Die, where I post some random videos. This is one of the builds that we've been living in on the server. So I thought I would share it. Now originally it had the bunker right here that had um, the well, and then the house is, well, it was right here. So that's what we ended up living in at first. And I ended up dropping that. You can kind of see it. The wood frames used to not be here. This was all we had as far as getting in, and that's still asking about people joining in. So we would come down in here. Oh, and what I ended up doing is in the center of the house, I dug down and I put this all the way around, so it would help. You know, if they fell in the pit, you could go ahead and kill them, of course. Put the two supply boxes. I don't think there's anything in either one of those. And you come down here and it would, I blocked it off in case we had to fall back. Now this was the inside of the bunker. Right over here is the stairwell that I just showed you to where the well was. And I just reinforced it all and everything. Yeah, so this is basically, we cleaned out the whole thing. Reinforced little aspects of it. I was trying to make it like if they busted in here, we could shut this door. And I never did put a door over there. And we could like fire through here and fire through there. But most of my builds end up being where I just go ahead and keep adding stuff as I go. That's the way I end up doing it most of the time. And then there's John's bedroom right there. And then used to be the kitchen. As you can see, we gutted everything in the kitchen. And then we just put all the boxes down and everything. And we didn't mess with this room. We just let it keep on spawning in. Every few days it goes ahead and spawns in. Somebody empties out all the stuff and then we're good to go. I'll go this way in a little while, but this is to the farm area, which I ended up clearing out. Me and Sil cleared out the cemetery that was right next door to this. And I'll show that in a second. This was the back room right off of the kitchen. We cleaned out all the electrical parts in here, threw up some forges, got supply boxes, and then I made a big hole in the wall right here, and this is the armory. As you can see, we got basically anybody ends up going and farming stuff. The top box is the supplies, the parts and everything, and I come in, I just usually combine them all down, and then all the weapons are down here. Try to get them 600, that way it can end up being useful. But it goes all the way down, except for the auger. I don't usually mess around with the auger being 600. This right here is to the horde house that I showed before in an earlier video. We're at the police station, horde house. But yeah, so here's the armory we ended up building. That's basically all that. And this is just the basic walkthrough to show the base. Right here's the forge area, which, yeah, we'll go down to the forge area real quick. I wanted to make a forge, see, like, for instance, let me run back up here. Run back up here! The only thing I don't like is the steep incline. Of course, my phone's ringing now. Let's see. So you see we're right here in the center, okay? Did my bike disappear again? My bike disappeared. Crud. We've been having troubles with the bikes disappearing on the server a lot. Which really stinks, but it is what it is. So you go all the way down here. And here's the forge area. Look on the map. This is where the forge area ends up being out further away. So when we have all these, we can run all these forges and we're not going to have anything spawn inside of our little base. That was the whole reason why I wanted it far away. This is straight at bedrock level. This way is to a tunnel that Sil was digging. She was getting, I think, just metal and maybe coal and something else. Kind of got everything labeled. That's all sand. That's all crushed rock. Sand. You got the cement mixers in here. Total 8. So I can end up producing a lot of cement at a time. That comes in handy doing all this stuff. Then you got to run back up. That's the only thing. We had a mini bike that would end up, it stayed down here just for this specific reason of driving up and down. And as I said, they disappear. I don't know why, how, or if it's just for some reason it just does. We've had a lot of complications with the mini bikes on the server. You'll go into the ground as you're driving, and then it'll disappear, or you'll float up in the air and it'll disappear. And I think we're up to like almost 30 mini bikes that we've lost. So we just have to keep on farming. Alright, so let's see. We'll go this way. This is where I started putting all the clothing and everything. And just stockpiling and combining and everything to make it where if somebody needed a set of clothes, they come in here and they can get whatever they want to. Got map schematics. This is where I was making the cement at first. And as you can see into the main foyer right there. This is Heather's room, River's room, and then my room. Nothing fancy, just built. This way over here used to be, it led all the way down to the end down there, and there was a one of the older bunkers, which I think it's still, yeah, we still got some of it. This leads up to the castle area, which I'll show you in a second. And see, this is the little bunker area. I just went ahead and reinforced it and everything. But the entrance to the bunker was normally it came down like this. But the thing is, whenever you were sitting there driving out of it, sometimes you went into the pit that surrounds the base. So I went ahead and flipped the entrance around, kind of, so to speak. So it goes now into the bunker. I'll show that in just a second. We had a whole bunch of extra bikes down here, and they just fell into the floor. We've been finding bikes in various locations too, which is kind of odd. Show you this real quick. And see, now it goes up to her like this right here. So there's my mini bike. Okay. That's a little spot tower, which I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, the ramp had to go ahead and be turned around because every time we drove out, we would just turn, like, go right into the pit sometimes. This goes up to the outer layer of the spike pit that surrounds the whole base. Got spotlights all the way around. And some of the spikes and I mean, it's still got like little bits and pieces that need to be fixed still. Every so often I try to go ahead and put a ladder going up so you can go ahead and get in and out any which way. The only problem is when somebody fell into the spikes. They had no choice but to go ahead and bust out stuff. We should have just teleported them out, but we didn't. Storage area, drop off to be sorted, gas, so you could drive down the ramp in here, get some gas, drop off everything you looted, and you go straight up into the castle. This was just a makeshift room, which I learned a lot of stuff doing this build. There's a lot of things I don't like about the castle. As you can see, we got like a certain area right here that has wood, is because Sil put just a couple of trees up top and it collapsed this whole tunnel. So we had to reinforce it a little bit. Structural integrity is something I really had to go ahead and learn. It was, making this build, I've learned a lot of stuff I did wrong, so to speak. Okay, so back in the foyer. Now look at Sil's farm. You got Sil's bedroom right here. This is where we were doing the mushrooms and stuff. She wanted a big farm area, so I went ahead and cleaned out the whole, me and her both cleaned out the whole cemetery. and then the whole top of it is filled with this. So if the zombies busted in through right there, which is even with the ground, they would end up just walking on top of this. So what do we drop it down? We dug down the cemetery 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, and then she put sod everywhere and fertilized everything. This took a while. I also wanted to have it where if she ended up getting a zombie in, she could come up on the top right here and snipe them. As you can see, how it's even with the road. Pretty nice. Okay, so next. I'm trying to think of all the stuff to show. This has been like, I know it shows that we're only on day 82, but there was times when like somebody would get on and they didn't feel like they really wanted to do a horde night or something. So we gave access to go ahead and back that day up if need be to go ahead and not do the horde. That's essentially what we ended up doing. And so we probably would end up being on like day 100 and something, 200 something. So there's the castle. There's a lot of things I do not like about it, but I'll show that in a second. We cleaned out this whole row. You can see the trees go all the way back. We cleaned out all the houses, collapsed all the houses on this little block, and then planted the trees. Same thing on this little block, and then planted the trees. So you could take the chainsaw and just go all the way down there, and that's wood for days. I made these little platforms just in case you needed to snipe something. They're not high, they're not fancy, but they got a spotlight built into the side of them to shine out right here. As you can see, there's a little bit of damages here and there. But there's the spike pit that goes around the whole base. I went 4 wide. This took a long time because where this right here is in front of me, the overlap, I guess, and the spike pit, that was the road. So it took a while, and I could not have done it without Seal. Seal got in there and dug everything out, and then we went ahead and lined the whole sides with concrete. And then like every so often I place these so you can go down in here and get face to face with the zombies and loot them and whatnot. Now, every so often, I haven't placed them all because I started not liking where some of them were placed. But like, I put these little bridge designs just to have something fancy, I guess. The only problem is, like, that one works out. But I think I got one on the other side that ends up being, yeah, right over across. You can see it straight across over there on the other side of the cemetery. It's really close and I don't like it. This was just in case you just don't want to go down the ladder, you want to go downstairs. You could come down. Now I never finished this right here. This was going to go around and underneath to the other side. So there's really only, I think, 2 locations to go down the ladder to get to the other side right now. Besides on the, now I do have it on the other side. I think it's right down, yeah, right over there. So I mean there are a couple places, but I didn't finish all of it. This is just, I kept on working on it here and there. Here's where another bridge was going to be built. And then there's the castle. The castle took a while. There used to be a funeral home where this castle was and a building. And I went ahead and me and Sil busted it up and collapsed it down. But there's, I mean, I'm proud of the build, but there's a lot of things I don't like about it. I do like how if you're out this way and you look back, how the torches just make it like a little shine on it. It kind of lights it up pretty good, and it helped me think of ways to play around with lighting. You come in, kind of open. I leave the drawbridge up at all times, or down at all times. Little fire pit. Come up the stairs. And it's got a walkway all the way around. Couple little designs I wish I would have changed some things, and for the next build I know a lot of the stuff I'll do different. But it was kind of like I had no plan. It was spur of the moment. That's the reason why you'll see some stuff on the inside that it kind of irks me a little bit, but it's okay. I'm not saying I'm perfect on building. I really stink at building. This right here is a little tower. I wasn't really too sure what to do with the tower, and I put the spikes up here, and I really don't like the spikes up on top of the tower. But I don't know. I think this right here along the walkways, I think that was pretty good, but on the towers, I don't think I like them. You can see inside. Now see that table right there, how it's even with the thing? That's pretty much the only thing that's even in the whole place. Oh me. I wanted to go for a little bit difference. Like, you know, I started putting those concrete slabs right there just to give like more of a modern look, kind of, I guess. Come into here. I don't like how this is a lip. And it's only noticeable from this side. It's not as noticeable from this side. And it's really not noticeable from that side too bad. But if you're looking for it, it gets on me. I got a workshop right here. Where if there ended up being damages and stuff, everything is in here that is needed to go ahead and make repairs. I made another armory right here. So it's got some more guns. I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to do the top, so I kept on changing it around as I went. I'm bad about that. And then we got... I had to put this support beam up here. Now the bad thing is, I should have put the stairs completely in the center of the castle. And the reason why is you'll see in a second. Here's the med room. Couple beds in here, which was kind of throwing me because every time I placed the bed down, it gave me a spawn, new spawn location. I tried to go with some different windows, just like playing around with them, because you got that window right there, then you get this type of window, and then you got this type of window right here, which that's just a wood window, and then you got this type of window, which is the glass panes you can find out and about, which here is the, I guess, bar, I guess you could say. I was playing around with this idea, and I thought it was really cool, and I did it quite a bit in this build. I put a lot of the flaming barrels. We have a couple people that can't come in the castle because they just they lag. More flame barrels. I was trying to do a different design there. I'm not sure if I really like it, but it is what it is. Some hay bales just for decoration. This is the mini bike room. So this is where all the mini bikes are. And if you go down the stairs, that's back to where we're in the tunnel. This was actually, this house that was on this area had a basement. And I just went ahead and hollowed out the basement even more. Now, I like the bottom floor here. I really like it, but when I was designing it, I didn't like count out anything. I just started laying stuff down. Nothing is like, this wall might be shorter than that wall. That tower I know is different than that tower, and pretty sure that none of the rooms are even. What I should have done is just got this in the middle of the build, and I would have been a lot more satisfied. I started running into structural integrity later on. That's the reason why you see these everywhere, because I was trying to not make it look goofy, but I was trying to go ahead and do designs on it. You got the staircase. I like how this looks all the way down, and it's on both sides. But This I tried to add in to the middle to add a little bit of structure integrity plus some lighting, as well as these right here. And it just ended up not really working out. I had to put these pillars in here, which kind of counteracts with the table that I made. The chairs don't really match up to the table, but I mean, I guess it is what it is as far as that goes. It's going to end up being odd. All these we're going to end up having, see how it's the cobblestone with the tree trunk? It was going to be like this right here. And I never ended up getting back to it. But you could come out here and you could look, kind of open feel. I really like that part. But as I went up to the third floor, which I like this right here, I thought it looked okay, but then it just, every time I look at it, I just don't really like it. But if you notice, you might not can tell, that side over there is longer or wider than this side over here. So it's already off-centered. So when you come up here, this is off-centered. I put this in the middle just to go ahead and add a little bit more structural integrity. And I mentioned that quite a bit. But yeah, I got to the point where it wouldn't even put the roof on. I couldn't finish some of the rooms. That's the reason why you'll see it in some of the rooms. This one, well, I didn't do much in this one as far as, these could be bedrooms or whatever. I finished it and I was like, okay. This, like I added in this little wall right here, this little fireplace, just to go ahead and add a little bit more structural, just so I could get the roof on. Same thing with these pillars. I think one room that I had a problem with, this is one room I had a humongous problem with, and all of a sudden it started working. I don't know why. Really? I'm thinking it's because of these wooden roofing that I put up. Because I couldn't even put it on these pillars for the longest. This room I had a humongous problem on. Could not finish the roof for anything. So I ended up putting this in there, so it's kind of like little fire pits in every corner. So to keep warm, I guess. I think I did that on one other room too. Is it this room? No, this room was the one that just happened to finish. Threw some chest up just for decoration. This room went up real easy. And I still, every now and then, when you walk across, like it might be okay right now, but sometimes when you walk across it, you'll go ahead and collapse a part of it. This room's the other one I did. I never did finish it, but yeah, it was supposed to be the same way as that room down there. And then you go up on the roof. I think you go up on the roof, yeah. Kind of went with a little bit different. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this. I kind of played around with it, but it's not exactly like I wanted it. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I think I'm done with this because I got other builds I've got to do. But yeah, there's our kingdom. This is what we have been building for quite a while. You can see all the way around the base. I don't think I can get anywhere else. I wanted to build a tower in the middle, but after I had so much trouble on this floor, I decided to stop while I was ahead. I got it fixed, so I was going to stop. But yeah, there's the cemetery. That is Sale's farm, basically. And that tower right there, I was originally, before we moved on to our other builds, I was going to go ahead and make that a bigger tower. So it was going to be like this really tall sniper tower. And I just kind of stopped. I mean, it's pretty fortified. And I'm pretty sure it can survive any zombie horde. But I wanted to go ahead and show off my build a little bit. I've talked to a couple people that were like, I want to see it. But they don't have this on the PC. I wish that I would have went ahead and I started running out of ideas on what to do here. And then when I started figuring out ideas, I'd already gone too far and I didn't want to destroy a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, it's not a bad build, but it's definitely a learning experience. I think I ended up, yep, they leveled, they evened out, kinda. So you can tell the top is a little bit off, just a tad, but not too bad. And I wanted to have towers in the back, but they didn't really work out exactly like I wanted to. And this is all done in survival too. That's the biggest thing. See how the little towers, they didn't really work out completely like I had envisioned, I guess you could say. But anyways, this is what I've been working on for quite a while. Finishing up the castle. The next ends up being, I think we're gonna, yeah. My next build is going to be a humongous area in a hub city. We've cleared out the whole hub city. Well, let me rephrase that. Seal's cleaned out the whole hub city. And I'm going to go ahead and start building a plethora of horde playthings, I guess. There used to be a building there too. Or see, you can see from how she went all the way back to the end of the road. So it's that whole square is blocked off. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the build. Next time, hopefully it'll be a lot better because I have a ton of new ideas to try, and I think I'm going to have 2 castles next time, maybe. So until next time, I'm Shaken Art, and I shall catch you later.